Imagine this. You're walking through an ancient library, torches burning, dust rising off stone floors, shelves towering over you, packed with scrolls written thousands of years before electricity, before kingdoms rose and fell, before your name ever existed. You reach for one old scroll, and you open it, and the first thing you see is a story about a brilliant being who ruled the sky, hurled lightning, demanded worship, and rebelled against the one who gave him power. Now pause, are you reading about Zeus or Lucifer? That's where our journey begins. Let's start with something historians agree on. Ancient mythologies don't appear out of thin air. They're built on memories, cultural memories, spiritual memories, historical events, and encounters that ancient people interpreted through their limited understanding. The Greeks didn't randomly invent Zeus. The Greeks passed down stories from older civilizations. The Minoans, the Mycenaeans, the Indo-Europeans, all of them layering one story on top of another until Zeus became the final product. But underneath that product, something older was hiding. So we go backwards. Thousands of years before the Greeks, in the ancient Near East, places closer to Israel, Babylon, Canaan, and Phoenicia, there were stories of powerful beings who controlled the sky, ruled with thunder, demanded worship, and made war against the true creator. In Canaan, he was called Baal. In Babylon, he was Marduk. In Ugarit, he was Hadad. In Sumer, he was Enlil. Different cultures, different names, same blueprint. A sky-ruling deity who takes control by overthrowing someone else, then demands humanity's devotion. Now fast forward to Greek mythology. Zeus doesn't create the world. He doesn't create the heavens. He doesn't even emerge as king naturally. He takes power by rebellion, violently overthrowing his father Kronos in a cosmic war known as the Titanomachy. Think about that. A powerful being who leads a rebellion in heaven, fights for the throne, casts down the old ruler, and sets himself up as king of the cosmos. Does that sound like the creator or the biblical description of Lucifer? This is where things start getting uncomfortable. Because long before Christianity reached Greece, Jewish thinkers living in the ancient world were already identifying the Greek gods, especially Zeus, as fallen spiritual beings, not imaginary, not metaphors, but real beings, masquerading as gods. The Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish text written centuries before Jesus, describes a group of angels called Watchers who came to earth, taught forbidden knowledge, took worship, seduced humanity, and were punished by God. Enoch says these beings appeared to men like gods of old. Greek mythology says the gods lived on mountains, had children with humans, and taught mankind arts and technologies. Same pattern, same behavior, same consequences. Now here's where it gets even heavier. Let's talk about names. The word Lucifer in Latin comes from Hello ben Shahar, a Hebrew phrase meaning shining one, son of the dawn, a radiant being, a brilliant one, a bringer of light. Now look at Zeus. In the oldest Indo-European records before Greek, Zeus was called Dios Phter, meaning the shining sky father, shining, radiant, sky ruler. Another overlap. But this gets deeper. In every culture influenced by Indo-European traditions, the chief sky god had the same traits. He was bright, he lived above the clouds, he carried thunder or lightning, he ruled over lesser gods, and he demanded sacrifices. Thunder gods appear everywhere: Slavic Perun, Norse Thor, Vedic Indra, Hittite Terhuna. But Zeus is the supreme expression of this lightning-wielding archetype. Now bring back the biblical description of Lucifer, prince of the power of the air, meaning ruler of forces operating in the atmosphere. Angel of light, meaning he appears brilliant, radiant, impressive. Deceiver of nations, meaning he influences cultures and shapes their worship. Now here's where everything snaps into place. Early Christian writers, men like Justin Martyr, Tertullian, Origen, Lactantius, explicitly stated that the ancient gods of Greece and Rome were fallen angels, deceivers, spiritual beings posing as deities. And they didn't speak vaguely. Many of them specifically identified Zeus as the highest ranking among these beings, the chief impersonator of divinity. In other words, if fallen angels wanted worship, if they wanted nations to forget the Creator, who would be the perfect candidate for that role? The one the Bible says led the heavenly rebellion, the one who wanted the throne, the one who wanted to ascend, the one who wanted the world to see him as king, Lucifer. Now let's look closer at Zeus himself. Zeus's main symbols: lightning, thunder, the eagle, the oak tree. In the ancient Near East, the world of the Bible, these symbols didn't belong to the Creator. They belonged to rebellious divine beings who fought against him. The Canaanite god Baal also used lightning. He also fought on mountains. He also demanded child sacrifices. He also impersonated the storm. Zeus and Baal share nearly identical stories, and both were worshipped in places not far from Israel. And here's the part scholars rarely talk about. In the Old Testament, God constantly warns Israel about other gods of the nations, saying, "These beings are not gods, they are Shedem." Shedem means dark spiritual beings, not imaginary, but fallen. The Israelites weren't warned about nothing. They were warned about someone. Now back to Greece. Every temple of Zeus received sacrifices. People prayed to Zeus for rain, victory, mercy, protection. They offered bulls, goats, incense, wine, even, in older traditions, human lives. Why is this important? Because Ezekiel, Isaiah, and Deuteronomy describe the fallen beings, especially the leader. Taking worship that belongs only to God, Lucifer didn't just rebel. He wanted to be worshipped as the Most High. And Zeus, he embodies that exact desire. King of gods, Father of gods and men, ruler of heaven and earth, the one all must bow to. This isn't just mythology. This is a stolen throne narrative, exactly like Isaiah 14 describes. But now let's go even deeper. Let's compare their character. Zeus is powerful but morally corrupt. He lies, he deceives, he seduces, he manipulates, he punishes brutally, he rewards selectively, he takes what he wants. Not a creator, not holy, not righteous, a ruler built on power, not purity. Does that sound like God, or like a spiritual being pretending to be God? Even Greek writers admitted Zeus wasn't moral. They worshipped him because he was powerful, not because he was good. Now think about Lucifer again. Lucifer is not stupid. He is not weak. He is not unattractive or monstrous in appearance. According to the Bible, he is brilliant, persuasive, manipulative, strategic, and capable of convincing a third of heaven to follow him. If he wanted humanity to worship him, what would he present himself as? A terrifying demon? Or the most powerful, awe-inspiring sky ruler ancient people could imagine? Here's the twist. Ancient Greece wasn't the only place with Zeus. To the Romans, he became Jupiter. To the Etruscans, he was Tinia. To the Hittites, he was Tarhun. To the Vedic Indians, he was Dios-Peter. To the Slavs, he reappeared as Perun, the same being, with the same lightning, the same sky throne, the same worship, spread across civilizations who never met each other. Why would so many cultures worship the same kind of being? Unless they were all responding to a real presence, a real spiritual influence that presented itself differently to every nation. Now let's tie the final thread. When Paul the Apostle visited Greece, he stood on Mars Hill in Athens, one of the main centers of Zeus worship, and said something shocking. "The gods you worship, these are not gods at all." And then he added, "They are spiritual beings that deceive nations." He wasn't saying Zeus didn't exist. He was saying Zeus wasn't who the Greeks thought he was. A powerful being? Yes. A supernatural entity? Yes. But divine? No, Paul was identifying Zeus as a fallen angel, exactly the category Lucifer belongs to. And when Paul cast out spirits in the New Testament, he wasn't casting out imaginary characters. He was confronting real entities that demanded worship. So here's the question nobody asks. Among these fallen beings, which one would demand the highest position? Which one would crave the sky throne? Which one would want to rule over all the others? Which one would shape cultures across continents? Only one fits that profile. The same one Isaiah described, the same one Jesus confronted, the same one Revelation exposes, the same one ancient religions unknowingly worship, the one who said, "I will ascend, I will rule, I will be like the Most High." Whether you call him Hillel, Lucifer, the Shining One, the Prince of the Air, or the Father of Gods, the storyline stays the same. So ask yourself this: when ancient civilizations bowed to Zeus, when they lifted sacrifices, when they prayed for rain, when they thanked him for protection, who were they actually talking to? Was it just a myth? Or was it a fallen being wearing a crown that never belonged to him? If this made you think, if the dots are starting to connect, then don't stop here, because everything we solve today is just the first piece of a much bigger picture. The next part takes us into older myths, buried texts, lost civilizations, and the hidden history of the beings ancient people called gods. And trust me, you're going to want to hear where this trail leads next.